Welcome, and today we're going to be working on a fun project. I want to start making a villager trading hall using some of these villagers I have here, but I think I need to start farms that will get me more resources so I can trade with those villagers. So I figured while I work on the trading hall for them, let's make a project that will produce some resources. So we have a semi-automatic fish farm. We have a fully automatic iron farm in this world already, but we don't really have crop farms yet. We have a couple just basic small ones, but what I was thinking was maybe setting up an automatic crop farm, but what crop is the easiest? I think the easiest crop farm to start this early in the game is going to be a pumpkin or melon farm. So we're going to do something fully automatic, something small that will continually run while we're working on some other stuff. And I'm thinking a pumpkin farm and melon farm is the way to go. So let's start working on that. All right, so this is like the catching system where everything's going to get caught at. And let's put some water down so we see how far we have to make this. Yeah, so this is what the pumpkins are going to fall into and travel down. So that means the stopping point for this is roughly here. Okay. Perfect. So that's the stopping point. All right, so now that we have the catch system, we're going to start placing the observers. We want the observers to physically observe wherever we're planting a pumpkin. So we'll do that, that. Okay. Just like that. So all this is anywhere we see an observer, that's where a pumpkin seed is going to go. And in between these, you're going to space them one block apart. We're going to put a piston to break the pumpkins. So let's make some pistons. Okay. Then, now the observers are facing this way, we want the pistons to face the same way that the observers are. Like so. And you can make this as large as you want. Just like that. Okay. Perfect. Alright, so we have all the observer faces and piston faces facing the same way. Wow, that's a lot of faces in that sentence. My goodness. All right, so now that we have the collection area, we're just doing some water going downhill, and you have all the observers and pistons facing the same way, what we're going to do is you're going to place a block behind each one of these observers, and then redstone dust behind each one of your pistons, like so. Then, when there's a change in front of any observer, it fires the piston next to it. So, what classifies as a change? I will show you. You're going to plant seeds in front of every observer face, just like this. And you'll notice if you did it right, every time you plant a seed, the piston will fire. Meaning, every time a melon grows, it will land on the grass block that has a piston on it. The observer will detect a change in the growth and fire the piston. You also want to make sure that there's always a wall block here and a wall block here. That way they're growing on the right side to get broken by the piston. The beauty of this is because we did it this way, you can build this same thing on the other side. Or you can stack these. So I'm going to show you how to stack them because that's how I like to do it. So we're going to stack these. Pretty much exactly what we just built, but one higher. Build this up, one more. All we're doing is repeating the same exact steps as high as we want to go. So observers and pistons, blocks behind every observer, redstone behind every piston, plant a seed in front of every observer, and repeat, repeat, repeat. It is as simple as that. As these grow, the melon or pumpkin, this works for both, will hit. But before we continue building up, let's work on our collection system a little bit so we have somewhere to put all these. All right, so you can place a chest to collect it, and hoppers facing into the chest at the end of the water source. And once these break, they will jump right in. So what we're going to focus on now, because essentially that's the entire farm, is we're going to make it fit with the rest of our build. We may go a little bit higher so everything matches, and we'll probably put a nice decorative glass front on the front of this. But let's finish making this look a little pretty, shall we? So this is the final look. It's nice. I like having the glass open so you can kind of see when things are broken or getting farmed. As you can see, some of these are already growing, and every time one of these changes, the dispenser will trigger the piston and break the melon or pumpkin. We made it match the look of everything else we've been doing. We made it easy to open these doors and collect from the chest here. And we even threw some glowstone inside to prevent mobs from spawning in there and jamming it up, and to also help the pumpkins and melons grow. This is super simple. This is fully automatic. I never have to touch this thing again. And this is a great way to start getting mass amounts of crops, especially if you want to use it for food sources and or villager trades. So if this was helpful, or if there's anything else that I can do to show you guys as I'm working in my own world here, please let me know. Thank you so much, and take care.